Hello, and welcome to Rainy Tuesdays. I guess I'm introing. I just started. Woo! Today we're here with Margot.
Hi.
And Adam.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Back to the usual crew.
Yeah. Excited.
I know we said this last episode, but it truly is back to the usual crew. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Tried out some new things, and now we're back.
Absolutely. Yeah. Lord. Fun times.
Tried going the Star Wars only route, I heard.
Yeah.
Yes.
I told Adam that I did consider titling the Star Wars episode that we did recently to just Sorry Adam. I thought that would have done wonders.
You know what I was thinking about with Star Wars the other day? There's now more Disney Star Wars content than there was pre-Disney Star Wars content.
Yeah.
So if you're oh, I don't like this new content, do you really like Star Wars if more than 50% of what Star Wars is now you don't like? Is this the ship of Theseus sort of?
Fair. And that's interesting.
Tell that to any hardcore Star Wars fan.
Yeah, it's well, I don't know. They were you just I
don't think you like Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh my god. Watch their heads explode. Yeah.
Yeah. They just spontaneously combust before your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Fun party trick.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Beforehand we were talking about Diary of a Wimpy Kid and whether or not
Ryan had
was hot.
Well, yeah. Okay. Roderick is not hot. We can definitively say that. If you think
Ryan, what's your vote?
I'm sorry.
I think not.
Okay, cool. Nothing against the actor. I think the actor is attractive.
Yes. The character of Roderick.
Yeah.
The actor is a normal guy.
Normal guy. Yeah. Wouldn't be phased one way or another if he walked past me on the street.
As all guys are.
But Roderick, I would just be ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Especially the character, too.
Yeah. It's kind of a jerk, right? I never read it.
Did you watch it?
It's been a while since I've read it and also watched it.
Fair. It kind of grossed me out as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Ryan had a theory, though.
Yeah. I think that Diary of a Wimpy Kid has, spurned the now meme formats. I think it's responsible for most modern memes. My reasoning for this is have you guys ever seen those memes of two people? It'll be black and white, and you'll have a Chad guy with a beard, a very defined face. I think Diary of a Wimpy Kid started that because of the way Greg Heffley is a very simple design of a very circle, which is sort of those modern memes. You have a very simple design oh, that's the person that's making the meme. Also, another thing in those books, all the women are drawn like Greg except for his mom, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things of, if you look at modern memes now too, of you'll see there's a really stupid meme that goes around of girls with the time machine versus guys with the time machine. Have you guys ever seen that?
I have not.
No.
Okay, it's very stupid because it's oh, girls with the time machine, oh my gosh, it's grandma. Guys with the time machine is just insert something funny. But it's sort of sexist because it's oh, I don't know really why, but
right,
exactly. Especially since it's the whole point of the joke is going back in time and doing something funny. You don't need the whole first part. But anyway, all the girl characters are drawn the same blank guy character, sort of similar to Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And I also think that sort of humor has led to meme culture.
Interesting. I like that a lot. I was thinking of the they don't know I'm blah 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 guy in the corner meme. I feel
that too, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that's a similar style. Which is one of my favorite meme formats, I gotta be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, that's my theory.
I'm browsing through these memes. They are funny if you ignore the women part at the beginning and just focus on the men with time machine part. There's one of there's no text for the guy part. It's just the guy pointing a gun at a stingray.
Aww.
Pretty funny.
Pretty funny.
Obviously don't kill stingrays, but
It's gotta be a Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, cool.
Yes.
I was glad I wasn't like missing it, and I wasn't just like get over.
Or there's one where he like gives Doritos to a middle ages peasant.
Amazing. I forgot.
Blow their minds.
Fair. So I watched Encanto.
Oh,
hey,
I have
great.
not still,
Okay.
But I hear good things.
Yeah, it's good.
There. I think the music was generally good.
Generally good.
Yeah, I think some of the songs were just kind of like, this is like every other like Lin-Manuel Miranda song. Like some of them were just like, this was written by Lin-Manuel Miranda and there's nothing else I can think of while the song is playing. But like some of the songs were like, now this is one of his bops, and like you can tell he like spent time on this song versus like a song that he just dreamed up.
So not to get too in depth, but
Fair.
Because one of the things that really is interesting to me is this weird cultural shift in regards to Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Fair.
Hamilton came out, Lin-Manuel Miranda was on the top of the world.
Sure.
And he is still career-wise. But
100%.
somehow public opinion has turned against him. The
Sure.
amount of times that I see TikToks being very mean to Lin-Manuel Miranda is absurd. Like, I don't understand it. He's still the same dude.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense to me.
I have a few points.
You can have valid opinions on the songs. Some of the songs are better than others in the movie for sure.
I want to just say, like, I love the man. I like big In the Heights fan. Since I was like little, it was like my favorite musical. I didn't love Hamilton as much. It was only because of Say No to This. That song makes me so wildly uncomfortable that I can't stand the rest of the musical. And then
Really?
I don't know what it is. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies. And
I think it's supposed to.
Yeah, but it works too well, and that's a credit to his artistry.
Because it's. I watched a video about him, Lin-Manuel, talking about how Hamilton reacted. Like, he wrote the whole letter, so you can read it, and it's just a complete a-hole about it. He's like, it was the woman's fault, and even if it wasn't her fault, I'm totally justifying what he's like, awful stuff. So I think that song is intentionally supposed to be like, Hamilton's not a good person.
And I tell you, it works. But
Hamilton is not about Alexander Hamilton. It's about Eliza.
Yeah, I like that theory. If it's a theory, it might just be it. But I like it.
Fair enough. Also, he was on Electric Company a lot, which was one of my favorite PBS kids shows. So great guy, love him a lot. But I do think, like, in his Disney era, there is just a large bucket of songs that sound the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how like at Taco Bell, like it's just all the same, like 5 ingredients just kind of mismatched in different ways. Yeah, it's like that with some of his songs, and that's not a bad thing. They're good ingredients, but it's just some of them I'm like, this isn't a new song, it's just slightly altered lyrics. That's not to say that's every single one of his songs, because it's certainly not. He has some real bangers, but yeah, it was just, that's why I say mostly bops. Like, yeah. Anyway, what were you saying?
I have a few points on this, because like I've definitely noticed this like public opinion shift, and I think it is for a few reasons. I think one, it is the music of like a lot of his music sounds very samey. There's like 4 things he always talks about: legacy, destiny, memory, and satisfied. And any like Hamilton, it's in there a lot. In the Heights very much started it. Moana, a lot of it. I've heard like one of the songs from Encanto. I'm like, yep, it's in there too. So it's just like all of his music like covers sort of the same thing. So it is like a little bit samey. I don't think there's a problem with that. Like,
I don't
really
want to
like
jump
Hamilton.
on the defense of Miranda, but I would argue that the movies themselves have similar themes, I guess, and he just writes for those themes. So maybe it's less about the songs saying the same things and the movies having the same themes to write about. Because Disney just like, here's a ton of money, write the songs for us. He doesn't get to choose how the story goes, I would imagine.
Sure. Yeah, I do think there's a solid chance though that he does just have like a bunch of songs pre-written, and like some of them he just like slightly alters towards like whatever specific movie. Which like, you do you. But I do think that creates like a similar vibe with a lot of them. Which again, not a problem. It's a
don't really-
good sound.
I don't really notice when songs sound the same generally. I feel like music as a whole sounds like music.
Yeah.
I'm not very analytical for media, so.
Fair. What song have you heard, Ryan? I'm curious.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Probably the We Don't Talk About Bruno, if you're on TikTok at least.
I've not heard that one, but I've heard a lot about that song.
Was it the like pressure one of like?
I think
surface
so.
Yeah.
Under the Surface. I think it's
yeah.
Surface Pressure. That's my favorite song.
I think that's the best song, and I was shocked to think that because I had seen a ton of the We Don't Talk About Bruno one.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this must be everyone's favorite song. But I'd only ever seen like written things about it. I hadn't heard of the song yet, and so then I watched the movie, and I was horribly underwhelmed by We Don't Talk About Bruno.
I mean, We Don't Talk About Bruno is a very good song.
Yeah,
it
does not go as hard as the other one though.
The Surface Pressure song is better, in my opinion. Yeah. I think a lot of it was like people on TikTok were like, We Don't Talk About Bruno is incredible, and then I got to it, I was like, it's kind of a fun.
It's kind of fun.
You know, like story song kind of.
Yeah.
But it's like as a song alone, I wouldn't say it's as good. It's a very musical song.
Yeah, totally a musical song.
Whereas Surface Pressure is just a good song.
Yeah, that's
whether it's part of the musical or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more if and when Ryan watches it. If you do,
you should watch it.
Yeah, I have.
It's not that long. It's on Disney Plus. Don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, I have thoughts about like the plot line and like the family dynamics and everything because I don't think that's great. But it's like not great in a very interesting way movie wise. Like I still really enjoyed the way that it was not great, but I just don't think that it was like a healthy message is all I'm saying. So I'm interested to see thoughts. I'm trying to.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm racking my brain to think
that Adam's confused and he's seen it.
This happens frequently, though. We all have. We notice things that I have not.
I can't wait for the Encanto discussion.
It'll be interesting. So speaking of family dynamics and those personalities.
I was going to talk about Lin a little bit more.
Oh, okay, do it.
Oh, go for it.
I was going to say, I think 3 reasons of why he's not liked as much.
Okay.
One, I sent you guys memes. He's just become very memed lately, and I think they're sort of funny. But there's like one of him biting his lip, and it looks like an e-boy or something.
Oh my god, he does. Oh lord.
And so that's just like, he's been memed on a little bit. The other thing is like, he's very political man, which is not bad. But also, I don't know if you guys saw, but like, the Democrats got together and like, for the anniversary of January 6th, and they had the cast of Hamilton perform a song, and then it's just very awkward because it's like, why?
Right.
Why? And then finally, I think the big reason is Hamilton has not aged well.
Fair. Okay.
Specifically because like, things change, like stories change as they get older. Like, people latch on to certain things more than other things. And I think a big thing of like when writing, the character of George Washington is very much based on Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like with that first show. Even so much that like when Obama was leaving office, like the One Last Time song, like they played that for him like over and over again.
Oh, interesting.
And that was like basically like the inspiration for it. Even though like the show was written like 2014, but like Obama was like getting ready to be done still.
Yeah.
But I think just as the show has aged, like people's views of Obama have aged, as well as they have of George Washington. Like Jefferson in the show is like not portrayed as a good guy. He's very much like the antagonist. They even like make mention of him owning slaves. You know who else owned slaves? George Washington. And that's like not really portrayed in the musical. Like George Washington is like seen as like a godlike figure.
Yeah.
When in reality he really wasn't. Made a lot of mistakes.
Just as bad as the rest of them.
Yeah. Yes. And perhaps the same thing could be said about Obama in some ways. Of being held to this high standard, but if you like really look at it, maybe didn't do some great things.
Right.
Right, like any human.
Yeah.
Multidimensional. No person's perfect, no matter how they're viewed, I suppose.
Yeah. And so that sort of was like, people have been looking at Hamilton of like, that's a big, like, little glaring part in the middle of it.
I
Yeah.
suppose. I guess I viewed it more as the way, like the way he's treating the musical is the way he's treated in history,
Yes.
and specifically the way the people around him treated him. Like to Hamilton and probably the others, he is that kind of larger than life figure that even though they worked with him, like it's kind of a big deal person,
Mm-hmm.
and especially to history. That's true. So I would imagine a lot of that holding him up is less about, I don't know, like ignoring all his flaws and more this is just how history treats him.
Yes.
And because the story isn't about him, it's about Hamilton, we're not going to get into him owning slaves and the more shady stuff that he had done.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like a sex club.
The sex club?
Yeah, George Washington was in a sex club.
Was
That's-
he?
Arguably one of the better stories about him. But yeah,
Yeah.
No, Benjamin Franklin was.
fair. Pretty sure George
I think
Washington
it's
was,
very
unless
much
I got
a disconnect of like people liking Hamilton for like historical, but it's not very historical. There's a lot of things that are actually different. Like there are some
Right.
like little tidbits where it's like, oh, that is right, but then there are other stuff where it's like, this is obviously dramatized.
Yeah.
One for it being a musical, and two for storytelling.
Yeah.
I think you might be thinking of.
I
Benjamin
totally
Franklin.
easily could
I don't think it's George Washington. Looking up briefly, but
Yeah. But I think that like the looking into like obviously like founding fathers, but then also like Obama and modern presidents, and having the like wherewithal to be like, oh, like they're absolutely making mistakes, instead of doing like the American way of being like, no, everything we do is perfect, all of our presidents are great, and we've never made a mistake in our lives, like America's number one. Like that's, you know, not at all
Yes.
true. And so I like that is a thing. It, you know, sucks for Broadway that is now making people dislike Hamilton, but I do think that's a good thing for our country to do.
I think it's a big thing of like, in America, it's like very much like the founding fathers are like these mythical figures, and Hamilton does a really good job of deconstructing that. Like, Thomas Jefferson was not a good guy, but it doesn't do the same for George Washington.
Right.
And I think that's where the, I guess, disagreement, or I don't know what the word would be for
like
it.
distaste towards it.
Distaste,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
there's
fair.
like other things about the musical too. That was like one of the ones I found interesting of like, oh yeah, I do sort of see a point there.
Right.
Which is why some people are like, maybe that's why like Hamilton went on Disney Plus so soon. Of like, maybe Lin knows that it didn't age very well.
Sure.
And just wants to get rid of it.
it seems so conspiracy theory. It went on Disney Plus because Disney Plus was new. It was like a year into Disney Plus. They didn't have anything else.
But also, the show, I mean, obviously COVID happened, but the show was still like selling tickets for like hundreds of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Why not, like, you know, wait till after COVID, keep doing that?
Yeah.
Guess. I don't know. That seems very conspiracy theory to me.
I don't know. Either way, though, like, it is, like, even if it's not exactly because he's like, I know it's going under the next 5 days. Like, it could just be, like, a smart business move to be like, just in case, like, the opinion of it sways even more negative.
Yes.
Like, to make this move financially. But, yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting.
I feel like, to me, a lot of the dislike stems from just the nature of the way people react to something that's really well loved. I feel like we've talked about this before, but I feel like when something is really popular, it has this giant backlash for some reason, where people start not liking it, probably maybe being mean, but because it is popular, and they're like, I didn't get it, so I don't like it, and then they look for reasons why they don't. And everything has flaws, so you're going to find something the more you look. And I feel like Hamilton's a good example among virtually everything that works for that. But I feel like Hamilton was and still is one of the biggest musicals in our generation, and changed. Musicals was giant, made tons of money. Everyone was obsessed with it. It came on Disney Plus. Everyone was even more obsessed with it because now everyone can watch it, whereas previously it was hard to get tickets and it was expensive. And then, but now, years later, 2 years later, a year and a half, you finally see the like people reacting badly because that giant wave of popularity was there and is now over, so people can can show the other side of it without being swarmed by people who really like it.
Yeah, I just don't know, because it's like, it's one thing for like the content to be like, people are like, okay, I didn't love this one thing for like this reason or that reason. But like, I don't necessarily think we're always like immediately prone to disliking people just because they're popular, especially because like generally speaking, and I don't want to say like I know everything about Lin-Manuel Miranda, because I certainly don't. So like maybe he's done stuff that people don't like, but to my knowledge he hasn't. To my knowledge he's been like just a really swell dude. And like, you know, we love Bill Nye, we love like Steve Irwin, to bring it back, we love like Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, like we love like swell guys. And so it's not necessarily like, I don't know, I know that that's not the guaranteed response, I guess. But it's just interesting. Like, I don't know what he's done. I can understand the content, I guess, with certain things. Because people just sometimes don't like content that you make.
Yeah, which happens.
Yeah.
But we talked about it before, but I feel like nowadays people have such an incessant need to justify why they don't like something by pointing out what's wrong with it, and there's something problematic. TM.
Right.
Remark.
Yeah, I do think we should just let people not like things.
And just not like things. You
Yeah.
also just like things. You're allowed to like or dislike
Totally.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's not a bigger reason for a morally right position.
No.
It's just a piece of media that you enjoy or don't.
Yeah. I don't know. Be nicer to people about what they like and dislike.
Yeah.
Don't be mean to Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I see so many.
Don't be mean.
Well,
lot of
actually,
it is,
less now. But probably maybe a month or so ago, I just had tons of people being.
Was it like because of Encanto or like?
Probably because that was like the thing he's done most recently, I would imagine. But I saw it over the summer too.
Oh, interesting.
I really do think once after that kind of swell of love for Hamilton died down.
Yeah.
And then Into the Heights came out. In the Heights.
The
And
movie,
I think people.
not great, to be fair, does not do the musical justice. I don't know if you guys have seen the musical,
I maybe saw the musical.
Okay.
I apparently saw a high school production of the musical, which I don't know how that. I don't know when that would have happened, but I'm pretty sure I've seen a high school production, and we left halfway through.
I have something very similar. Sorry, quick side note. But I've seen a musical version of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Okay.
I know I have. I know, otherwise, like, I don't know that story. And I was, like, raised Christian. But, like, I tell my parents about it, and they're like, we never went to see that. And I was like, I swear, I've seen it. I don't know how, but I know I've seen it.
Did you go without them?
I don't think so. I don't think I snuck out at a young age to go see Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
I don't know, it seems very on brand for
The
you.
little sack.
Yeah. There's always a sack. Did you guys
Take
ever
me
try
to
run
Joseph.
away as a kid? Oh my god.
No.
Fascinating. Okay. Ryan, did you ever try to run away as a kid?
No.
I don't think I did either, and I feel like that's like such a quintessential like 5-year-old thing to do, and I'm kind of disappointed in all three of us that we didn't. Like, I don't know. Not that we should have. Like, I think we all had very loving homes, but it's just like, you know what I mean. I just think we should have like thrown a temper tantrum at some point and like wrapped our favorite stuffed animal up in a little like kerchief and put it over our shoulders. Anyway. I don't know. I think I'm I'm trying to think if we even have time to do the other thing, or if we should just talk about stuff in general.
We can keep talking about this. I don't know how long is the test.
It can take a while.
It's like 7 steps of questions. You guys have taken it, time-wise.
I took it freshman year of college.
Oh. Ryan just took it, so how long did it take you?
How long did it take you last night, Ryan?
Like 30 minutes, but I wasn't really paying attention to it.
Okay.
We could try it.
Okay. Alrighty. We're gonna take. Is it Enneagram or Enneagram?
I don't know.
Enneagram.
That's what it looks like.
I know, but I'm just so worried that I'm just gonna sound like a fool.
If it's wrong, you're wrong, actually. So.
Oh, okay. And I dislike that you don't like the way I say it, and I want you to morally justify why you don't like Enneagram.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah, we're gonna take this. A quick rundown of what it is there's 9 personality types according to this test. It's kind of like Myers-Briggs in the sense of it's just like telling you about yourself. There's 2 different ways to take it. You can either take it like this is for sure me, or you can take this as like, oh, this is who I want to be.
Which I maintain is a baffling way to take a personality test.
I agree, but it's what all the crystal ladies are raving about.
It just seems to defeat the purpose of a personality test to take the test the way you wish your personality was.
Right.
I think you just need to like your chakras.
Ooh, I think you're so right, bestie. Okay. Alrighty, so if you want to take it along with it, take this along with us. We're doing the Truity.com one.
You don't have to pay for it.
I am prepared for any disaster.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're already going.
So basically it's like an inaccurate to accurate scale, and you just like vote along it. Yeah. Should we like read out them? Or,
Don't read out. There's like way too many to read out, but if you find one that's interesting.
Okay. If any of them like ring horribly inaccurate or horribly accurate, we should read those out.
I am prepared for any disaster. Have you guys ever thought of that? Of like, what if like something were to happen right now? Like, what's my escape plan? Do you guys ever think that?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
Not really, but I had a friend who like any home that he was in for extended amounts of time like had an intruder plan. Like if there were intruders, like how would he like defend the homestead?
Instead. Get out your Winchester carbine.
What about you?
I've never gotten to the point of making an actual plan. Just kind of like a fun thought exercise to be like, what if this absurd natural disaster or supernatural disaster occurred, and what would I do in preparation for it?
Fair.
A lot of meteors in my imagination.
Really?
I don't know what I'd do in a meteor. There's like nothing you can really do.
Just like fuck it, you're dead. Like it's fine. Yeah.
Well, not necessarily like a world-ending meteor, like a meteor big enough to like, I don't know, take out the building I'm in or something.
Oh, interesting. So like a meteor that won't kill you, but will mess your life up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's more interesting to me. Like, not that it's realistic. But
right.
I've like a car ran through a house in a neighborhood close by to where I grew up.
That happened in my like hometown too. Like,
meteor, kind of similar, of something like crashing through your house. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's more personal, I guess, to think about how that would affect you.
Yeah. That's fair. I am terrified of like fires. You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Seems like a justified fear.
When I was a kid, my neighbor's house burned down. So
really?
That was pretty rough.
That's terrifying. Yeah.
We had to like evacuate our house as well. Go across the street.
Okay, fair.
Our house was fine, but their house was not.
Yeah,
I don't think it was completely destroyed. I think the back house was.
Okay.
Like it started in the back and it destroyed like most of the back, but then the fire department got under control before then. But then water damage destroys virtually everything anyways, so
yeah.
I think they lost most of their stuff.
Dang.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, yeah, my car blew up, and that was a big old fire, and that was scary. But ever since then, I think I've been like really, really afraid of just other things blowing up. Which like I think it was just that it was not the best car. But you know,
I think at any point if your car blows up, it's pretty safe to say it wasn't
it's
the best
not
car.
the best car, right? Yeah,
Unless I don't know, there was a car bomb, like.
Oh sure, I
The car
don't.
blows up of its own volition.
I don't think it was foul play. I think it was just the car. Oh man.
So this question, I don't fit in with ordinary people. I think is such a like, I'm not like other girls or I'm not like other boys question. To preface this, I don't think personality tests are a real thing. However, I definitely think there are people out there who are like, oh, I'm not like other guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a personality type.
Oh my god. Okay.
Connecting to what we were saying earlier about people not liking something becomes popular, it's the exact same thing of wanting to be different, but to the extent of going against the flow. And there's something to be said to be an individual, but not to like make fun of other people for what they like. I think there's a lot of that at times with those people that want to act like they're not like everybody else and make that their personality.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I was talking to a man like last year, and he unironically defined himself as a pick-me boy. And I just didn't know how to respond to that.
That's fair.
Okay.
I don't understand what a pick-me girl is.
It's essentially like
What is a pick-me boy?
Well, so the pick-me girl is like where it originated, and it was like I think it's the extreme version of an I'm not like other girls, where you're like I can't believe Susie's wearing that dress. I would never wear something like that. I'm too modest. Like to a guy, like where you're like saying like, look how much better I am than these other girls. Like that's the vibe of it. And so the pick me boy is just the male version of that. Yeah.
Dang,
I guess
can't believe Joseph wore that coat to school today.
I know, it's like the technicolor.
I guess I just saw like wildly different portrayals of what a pick-me girl was on TikTok, and it confused me to no end.
I think it like originated from a rap song. Like,
look at me, I'm not like this girl. Isn't that girl terrible for whatever she's doing? But then I also saw it of when some girls will act like they're one of the guys.
Yeah.
As a similar thing, which seems like different concepts to me, but maybe they're not.
I think it's all like different means to the same end, I guess. And so it's like basically the premise of it is the girl is doing whatever she can to get them to pick her. And so I guess that could be in certain situations being like one of the guys, kind of a vibe. But I don't know. I think it's a lot of internalized misogyny.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Though everything about it seemed with women.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen like empath stuff?
Oh my god, I'm such an empath.
I don't understand.
I've only seen people discussing it in
yeah.
meme format. I've never seen any of the actual ones, so I don't
I think the only legitimate thing I've seen on that was the whole Shane Dawson thing, which horrible.
What's he up to these days?
Hopefully nothing.
I think he moved to like yes. I think he moved to like out of LA to like a farm somewhere, and made more ghost things. I'm very into YouTube drama. I think it's fascinating.
I distinctly remember in middle school, Shane Dawson's heyday, people being very, I don't know, obsessed with him, maybe. And I was like, I'll check him out. There weren't a lot of YouTubers at the time, so I clicked on like his first video, and it was just a vlog. and he had this book that he's gotten, which was like naked pictures of little kids,
Yeah.
and that he acted like this. It was this big joke, and I was like, "What is happening? What is wrong with this?"
I distinctly
I was
remember.
stunned. He
Yeah.
didn't show anything, but he had
Right.
it. And I don't think the point of the book was that, but it definitely was displayed within.
Mm-hmm. Especially because he had like a younger audience too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Younger female audience.
Younger female audience. And it's also, I remember like I don't have many like vivid memories of my childhood, right? Because I just have a bad memory. But I do remember very distinctly I was in the basement in our Tennessee house, and my sister was showing me like a Shane Dawson video, being like, "Oh my god, isn't this like funny?" Because like every kid was like obsessed with it at the time. And in it, he like had a camera and he took a picture of the camera, saying he was like taking a picture of the audience, like viewing the thing. I forget like what the context was other than that moment. Sure. And like I was like a dumb like 7-year-old, and so I thought that he was taking a picture of us, and I was like, this is creepy. Like I don't like what he's doing. Fully thinking that he then had a photo of us. Yeah. And I never watched him again after that.
It's really funny.
Oh my god.
That was a thing too, you would mention this, but people were always like, Shane Dawson is hilarious. And every time one of his videos would go viral, I'd check it out to be like, am I missing something?
Yeah.
And I must have been, because I never found his humor.
It sounds like you're just hating something because it's
popular. You know, maybe.
You're just morally superior.
I think I am.
Oh my god. Yeah,
it was just a specific brand of comedy that was not my thing.
Yeah.
Like Adam Sandler movies.
Totally. That's a really good way to put it, actually. I do think it's a very similar vibe. Sorry, Adam Sandler. But I do think that it's kind of funny because so like I liked YouTube when I was little, but I was on like British YouTubers. So like Zoella and Emma Blackery and like Luke Crawford and that kind of group. And then I stopped watching YouTube, and then I went back to it in like late high school, which was like BuzzFeed Unsolved kind of thing. And like Try Guys. But yeah, so I like missed all of the like big YouTube drama that happened, which was like everything with Shane Dawson and like Tana Mongo. I don't know.
You can
Jeffree
say
Star. Like all of these big names, I like missed it all.
I don't know who any of those people are except Shane Dawson. Obviously.
Yeah, they had a bunch of controversies.
Sure.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, the point of that all was to say that Shane Dawson called himself an empath a lot.
I still have no idea what it means.
Yeah,
it means you like really feel other people's emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone's sad, you feel sad, like legitimately, and not like actual empathy of like, oh, I feel sad that you are sad, but like you feel their emotions, and it's like a bit iffy in my opinion.
How are you guys doing?
There's a reason empathy is a superpower in various superhero comic books.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I think one of the X-Men has empathy as a superpower. Like, not one of the ones in the movies, but so that should tell you how real that is.
Yeah. How's your guys' Enneagrams going?
It's coming along.
Poorly.
Yeah.
I'm about halfway through.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
I like this question. I can clearly visualize what could happen in the future. I'm saying inaccurate. Do I look like Raven Simone? I don't think so. Yes, you do.
Wait. Make your eyes really wide.
I got a vision.
Yeah, that's what would always happen. You know, like zoom in and be like spirals.
That would be a lovely superpower.
Honestly, yeah. Except she always got it a little messed up, which I thought was beautiful. I thought it was poetry.
It'd be a little fun.
Yeah.
Because then after a while, you'd be like, wow, like sometimes these are really inaccurate, but still.
Right. It would be like she saw the future and she thought that one thing was happening, but it would be like completely the opposite. Like I thought my dad was cheating on my mom, but he was actually just like hugging his long lost sister. Like that would be an episode of that story.
I think I talked about this. I did the Pretty Little Liars video, the Unhinged recap, all done, wrapped up now.
Congrats.
Very good. What's
Still have to
very
watch
funny
both
to
those.
me is how absurd the Pretty Little Liars universe is. But there's a new Pretty Little Liars show being written by one of the Riverdale writers, which just seems like a match made in heaven. It's exactly the same level of nonsense crazy, and I'm excited to see what could result from that.
Mm-hmm. I had a friend that showed me Riverdale, and it was the one with the guy that was like on the roof with like the rocket, or am I thinking of a different show?
Oh, no, you're thinking of the right show. That was the cult one.
The cult one,
oh,
the cult leader in like the uniform on the roof.
Yeah. No, that is in the show.
A lot of things are in the show.
Oh my god. This is interesting. I often make changes in my life when things get boring. Do you guys change things in your life when things are boring? Or do you just kind of write it out?
If I don't like the TV, I'll change the channel.
Okay.
But
I guess, like, what? Like,
some of these are not...
I feel like the question insinuates a bigger thing.
Yeah.
And I would say more on that level. Like, maybe I'm bored. I'm reading a lot, and maybe I'm bored with reading.
Sure.
And so I'll watch more TV. Or maybe I'm bored with TV, so I'll watch or play video games or something. Like, maybe that. Like, how I spend my free time among the various options, there might be something that I'll do less of because I'm getting bored with it.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing drastic. And still then it's pretty minor.
If you were like bored of law school, you wouldn't be like, I guess I'm dropping out. Like,
yeah, that seems like a hot take. Maybe not the best way to live your life.
Oh my god. Fair enough.
Yeah, who knows? If it makes you happy, it makes you happy. That's what matters.
That I think is different than just being bored, though. Like, if you're actively unhappy, that might be different than like, this is just not the most fun.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Especially for like something temporary like schooling. Like there is an end to that. So like even if you're like not in love with the idea of going to school, like that will come to an end. And if like the degree that you're getting will make that end more interesting to you, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Questions are pretty similar.
They do.
I just saw I tend to be more optimistic than most people. I swear I answered that question on a previous page.
It was, are you more positive than other people?
So are you more positive? And then there was one where it was like, do you have a more optimistic outlook on life?
Yes.
I think it's very funny, the slight changes.
You know, you could really cut down on the time it takes this if you consolidated these synonymous questions with each other.
Did you guys ever have to read the book The Outsider or watch the movie The Outsiders?
I read it in middle school, but I don't remember any part of it. Except that one of them dies at the end, spoiler.
Yeah. Ponyboy is a character. Because someone says stay golden, Ponyboy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah. There's a question that says, I often feel like an outsider. I don't feel like Ponyboy.
No.
Disagree.
Oh my god.
There's definitely multiple questions that have talked about being an outsider as well.
Yeah.
You had talked about that, and then I saw what I thought was that question, and then I got to the question you were talking about, and I realized it was the same thing again.
I also don't like the ones that are like than most people at the end, because that makes me feel like, well, I don't know. I don't know what most people. Like,
most people's relative.
I'm not a sociologist.
Am I better than 3 billion people?
Probably not.
I don't know.
So many people.
Compared to the other 3 billion people?
Who's to say?
This one's, I am an unusually unique person. Another example of the same thing.
Oh my god.
We're really being mean to this test.
We are, but it's also kind of...
It deserves it. It's too long.
Yeah.
It is really long.
Oh my god. We're trucking through it though. I think I only have 3 more pages.
We're trucking through it. I've got like 3 of 7 left, you know?
Yeah. I'm on step 5.
This question is, I read books that help me be more productive or better at what I do.
You have
And
to say yes for that.
what?
You have to say yes for that.
I'm pointing it as the most inaccurate it could be.
What do you mean? You read law books.
Not to be as a requirement for school.
Oh,
I don't think that counts. I was about to say I applaud people who do that because I could never. Every part of media I watch or read or whatever is purely escapism, and nothing is remotely going to help me in life, nor do I want it to. So people who can do that, they're living a different life than I am, I guess.
I like
this question. On you for not wanting to escape the life you're in.
I make alliances with people who can help me stay safe and secure. I am not a country. I'm not making alliances with people.
Would you like to form an alliance?
It's probably a problem as well if you view friendships.
If someone asks to form an alliance, that's a red flag.
Yeah, red flag number 1.
You're gonna go to war with Spain.
If I invade Belgium, will you support me?
If you make alliances with enough people and they do fully support you, they're not gonna back out of your alliance, you basically got a country. Like that's how you become a country.
And then you secede from the United States. That's our plan.
Adam, did you ever play Civilization?
No.
Okay.
Civ 5.
Civ 5. Did you ever play it, Margot?
No, but I think every single person I've ever dated does.
Okay, so in Civilization, you can make alliances with other countries. And what often happens is sometimes they'll make alliances and then just declare war on people. So you just get pulled into random wars.
Oh my god.
It's like, why are we friends? You're bringing me into the worst stuff.
That's a toxic friendship.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There was another question that was making first impressions. I think you should your first impression should be do you want to form an alliance?
That's the first thing I'm gonna ask people from now on. Not hello, not hi, my name is Margot. Just would you like to form an alliance with me? Yes or no? If so, you can know my name. Oh my lord.
There's a lot of
This
one is I'm often looking ahead towards what's coming next. I've answered many questions.
Yeah, I've the exact same thing.
I think this is trying to see how anxious are we?
Yeah.
How much anxiety do you have?
There's a lot of strong emotions, and it's I need more context. What do you mean? Or there's stuff that's I shy away from things that get me down, and it's yeah, I guess so. I don't go looking out for ooh, I want to feel sad today.
Yeah.
You guys don't explicitly put on a movie to cry to?
No.
Yeah, maybe.
This is another thing, actually. I think I already talked about this, but that's another thing that doesn't make sense to me, is watching or reading or whatever something for the purpose of being sad.
Yes. I think...
And you explained it before, that's not what it is. It's because there's always a happy ending, so you'll get sad as the movie goes, and then it's happy again.
Sure, that does depend on the movie. Some of them are just trying to make you sad. Cowboys. I don't forgive you, Mom. But some movies she made me watch when I was a child, and everyone I liked in the movie died immediately.
Oh.
Not immediately, throughout the movie. It was paced out, so it was as soon as you dealt with one death and went through the 5 stages of grief, another person you died.
Oh, you watched Rogue One.
Exactly. Oh man. But I do think there is merit in if you need to cry, but you're not just doing it and you just put on a sad movie and you're here it is. That happens.
I'll put on a sad movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah, that's also fair. I do generally agree with I watch things to escape reality, and I don't want to escape to a worse reality.
Yeah.
I take steps.
Or I'll escape to a
fun
reality.
Right.
Yeah.
The reality might be
Worse, but
worse, objectively, like Hunger Games. Like, I
Yeah.
remember there was a meme like, you're now stuck in the universe of the last book you read, and people were still Hunger Games.
Like, I'm
And it
dead.
was like, yikes.
yeah, no.
Bad.
Fully, I said this because I was watching the Jurassic Park cartoon. I was talking about it with someone, and I was like, as much as I love this, I would just die immediately. I have no will to like keep trying to run away from dinosaurs. Like I'm just done. And same with zombies. Same with Hunger Games. Same with like any sort of survival thing. It's just not my vibe.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I just saw a TikTok about how messed up the Hunger Games books are compared to the movies. Like, not in a problematic way,
Right.
but in the experiments and creations that the Capitol does are way, way worse and more body horror-esque than in the movies.
Yeah.
Which
I tried reading them after watching them last year for the first time, and I was like, this is tough. No, thank you.
it's a little horror. I guess the TikTok was talking about the third book, which I don't remember a second of, although I did read, except for the ending, I remember how it ended, but nothing in between. So
Yeah.
that might have happened. I have no idea. They I remember when they were like, we gotta make the third book into 2 movies, and I was like, good, because I didn't understand the book when I read it, so maybe you can better explain it.
They also,
but then I didn't watch the movies, so who knows?
Yeah, but they also like so didn't have to do that because it was just like the first of the 2 movies was just like, hey, we're making a propaganda film. Oop, we made it. And then the second part was like, hey, anyway, here's the rest of the story.
I feel like it's a fine line you have to go when you're like, we're splitting this into 2 movies. Like,
right.
Harry Potter
Needed it.
for sure, and it was a good way to cut it in half.
Uh-huh.
But Hunger Games, I guess, is one of the examples of they did not. I was gonna throw a Avengers movie, but I don't think that even counts as like splitting the story into 2. I think it's just 2 separate movies.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
I think they were initially like, it's gonna be part 1 and part 2, but they must have given up on that because they're just 2 separate movies.
Mm-hmm.
Just I guess fair. They lose at the end of one of them.
Right.
Question or step 7 is very easy.
It's very quick.
And it's very different.
Very wildly different. I was like, huh? Did I click the wrong thing? I did not.
Oh, finally, I'm an average person with ordinary likes and dislikes.
Yeah, that one I was like, neutral? I don't know. This isn't really a question.
Guys,
but nice
I
to see
hate to be
I'm
the
an
bearer
average
of bad
person
news.
over under unique.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
What?
This was the one we needed to pay for.
I don't think so.
Wait,
Are you
What's
sure?
it say? What does you have a graph?
I guess so, but I guess
What's
you just
it say
can't see
under?
like.
Yeah.
It says like
then you,
unlock to get your full report kind of thing.
But what does the text say under the graph?
Oh God. Why do people seem so ungrateful for the things they do for them?
No, it's wait.
What?
So it should have a graph, and then what are the words underneath the graph? Like directly underneath the graph, it'll say like 1s, 2s, 3s.
Oh, it doesn't. So it doesn't have that. It has like the like find answers to these questions by like doing another test kind of thing. Which was that was like a buzz clickbait thing. That was not like I don't think people seem ungrateful.
So do you see like a graph?
I do see the graph. I'm just gonna look up
and that
whichever
says
numbers
type
are
in depth?
biggest. Yeah, but I can't read any of that. It just says your type in depth, and then it's like blurry because it says get your full report. I'll just look up like what the numbers
Which one's
are.
the biggest for you?
2.
Oh.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'm
biggest.
seeing the same thing.
Yeah. I'm just gonna look up.
Also, as a quick side note, I think it's very funny when they're like, "What's your gender?" and it gives you male, female, and prefer not to disclose.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a
just
secret.
very funny to me. It's a secret, and you can't know.
I'm a secret agent.
This one did not do that, but it reminded me because like the default responses prefer not to disclose, but then when you drop down, it's male, female, and other.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was getting COVID tested, that's how they did it, was male, female, and prefer not to disclose. And I was like, yes, preferred gender, secret agent.
Oh my god. Alrighty. So what are you guys? And Ryan, I'm curious to know, are you exactly what you were last night?
No.
Your personality has changed so quickly.
Oh wow, yeah.
I talked about this before we started, but I took the Myers-Briggs test in a row 3 times, like twice in one day and then once the next day, and I got a different result every time. So I have a low opinion of the results of personality tests.
That's so funny. Oh my god. Okay, so what is everyone's like top? Do you want to say top 2 or top 3? Or do you guys have distinct? Like...
My biggest, I could do the top 3. I mean, yeah, let's do 3. So I have 9 is my biggest, and then it looks like 7 and 5, but 7 and 5 are really
close.
Close in size, but I think 7 is slightly bigger.
Okay. My biggest is 2, and then it's 9, and then 3.
I'm the peacemaker, the enthusiast, and the investigator for 9, 7, 5.
Oh, we like that. He's a little detective. Oh my god. What are you, Ryan?
1, 7, and 3.
1, 7, or 3. 1 is Jesus.
Oh yeah.
That's what I keep seeing, is that Jesus was a type 1.
Principled, purposeful, self-controlled, and perfectionistic.
Fair.
That's Jesus?
So 2 is...
I don't necessarily describe Jesus as self-controlled.
2 is called the helper.
Generous, demonstrative, people-pleasing, possessive.
Alright.
Again, these feel very much like... what are they called? I almost said haikus. Horoscopes.
It does feel a lot like horoscopes.
Yeah.
So, like,
type 9 is receptive, reassuring, complacent, and resigned. Which a lot of generic words. But I do like that it said complacent when for every single time it asked whether I thought traditions are good, I said no. So I'm not sure I got complacent out of my slightly anarchistic responses.
I do think 9 and 2 go along very well together, because like those are my 2 biggest ones. But it says for 9s also that you can be like too willing to go along with others to keep the peace, and you're just kind of like, yeah, like whatever happens, you guys make the decisions, which I fully support. I have a rule with all my friends that the tallest makes like the decisions of what we're doing, so that
it's a good thing you've never done that with me, because I am so indecisive. My girlfriend and I both are extremely indecisive, so whenever we have to make a decision on anything, it takes like an hour. It's so bad.
I love that. Fair enough. Well, do you guys feel like we've like learned about ourselves?
No.
Do you feel like you know more about yourself than you've ever known before?
I think I've learned more about personality tests.
Apparently the 14th Dalai Lama is a 7, along with Ben Franklin. This seems very similar to the Wizard 101 test.
Fair enough.
You know what?
I think that's a better
more
personality
accurate
test.
result.
Oh my
I don't know
god.
what our results were for that, but
Fair.
some of these are pretty bad. Like 7 is spontaneous, versatile, acquisitive, and scattered. Which was my second biggest, and I don't think any of that's particularly true.
I don't think you're scattered by far. Like,
I'm not scattered. I don't think I'm particularly spontaneous.
I
would say I'm versatile.
It's especially funny because like 9 says that you're stable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very funny that
they're very different.
No offense to you, Adam, but versatile is a very big buzzword of like.
Yes. No, I think I was about to say. I think the way this is set up, is they give you 4 words, at least in this little list that I have, and you'll fit 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably. And then one will be and the other will be probably not. But because you fit maybe a majority, you're like, oh, yeah, I could see that. And the key is getting 4 words that cover enough boxes to fit everyone who looks at those 4 words.
Yeah. It's odd.
It's like 9, receptive, reassuring, complacent, resigned. Like, I don't think complacent, but receptive, reassuring, resigned, those could all fit me.
Sure.
Kind of. I think it could fit all of us. I mean, we're all RAs. Part of that's kind of reassuring, receptive.
Resigned.
The job. Resigned. Well, I'm not an RA anymore. Not that I quit, but I graduated.
You got it out of there. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of the worst personality test, only insofar as it takes so long. Because I don't think that it's any more or less accurate than any other like personality test type of thing. I just think it took too long to get to that.
I think
a long time.
That's the
I will
main
say,
takeaway. Like,
Yeah.
there is
don't
no
remember.
like more scientific one. I don't think
Right.
you could. I think maybe perhaps you could say there are archetypes of people. I don't agree
Right.
with that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think a test online is going to tell you any more than any of the other tests. Any
we
more
can
than a
take.
horoscope.
Yeah.
we should take the
Myers-Briggs.
we should take the Myers-Briggs. I was trying to think of
That's most
how
popular.
it compares, because I found the Myers-Briggs test to be accurate mostly, but I imagine that's just how those tests are. But
Sure.
like, I'm wondering, because we looked at this test and saw how similar all the questions were. Like, there's probably maybe 6 questions, but they repeat them in different wording 700 times. But I wonder if the Myers-Briggs test is the same, because I don't remember how the questions are. But I
think it
imagine
does
it's
that a little
fairly
bit, but
similar.
not as much.
This was bad.
Yeah, this was obsessive. Like
I'll
excessive.
go out and
not
say it.
obsessive.
There's 6 questions, and you take probably 100.
Yeah, it was a lot. Was it worth
Maybe
it?
100.
I think so. I think we've all learned deeply personal things about ourselves that we wouldn't have been able to know without this. We couldn't have looked up the different enneagrams and just been like, I don't know, I relate most to this one. It's fun.
I'm so glad. It told me the 4 words that apply to me.
Oh man. So other than enneagrams, what Raina and Nels Parade? Let's be enneagrams.
Now, we did record the last episode like
2
2
days ago.
days ago.
Yes.
So,
I was thinking about that
what's
too. I was like,
happening?
I'm gonna do one that I've already told you guys, and it's also a sunny one. I got chunky knitting needles. I'm really excited about them. I'm making a sweater. It's gonna be cute, but also these are humongous knitting needles, and I'm so excited. Yeah, that's really it.
Nice.
Thanks. I'm gonna look so cute in that sweater.
Trying to think.
I did have an ordeal on Monday.
An ordeal.
You know when you're not in the best mood and then suddenly you just have a bunch of little things happen to you that are all going wrong?
That's the only time they all happen.
Yes.
Is when you're not in the best mood.
That's exactly the case. So what happened was at my new internship, I have to have a parking pass. It's like a little sticker that goes in my windshield. In my previous internship, I had the exact same thing, which means I had a sticker in that exact same location that I had to remove to put the new one on.
Yeah.
So I purchased the Goo Gone stuff for a different reason a while back. So I had some.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, cool, I'll dump it on like a paper towel and I'll push it up there and like leave it there for a bit so it'll be really easy to remove, because it was not cooperating when I tried without it. It's freezing cold in Iowa, so it was a poor time to do it, but it had to get done at some point. And then when I was pouring the Goo Gone stuff, I spilled it all over myself in my car.
At least you weren't gooey.
at least I wasn't gooey.
It's all gone.
It was like that happened. I did eventually get the sticker out, but then the goo gone. When I tried to wipe the goo gone off the windshield, it froze because it's freezing. So I had like an oily smear across my windshield. That's because it's in the corner where you're facing out. That was right in front of my vision, and I was like, "That's gonna be great for tomorrow."
Yeah.
And then I looked up, does goo gone stain? And it does. So I had to like frantically figure out how to wash my pants so that didn't happen. Trying to think was successful, but just like a bunch of things happened. And then there was a free ranging dog and loose in my apartment, which pooped on the floor, not in my apartment, the building,
The
in the hallway.
Did anyone like claim it?
Oh yeah, someone was claiming it when I saw it, but they did not look down the hallway where it had pooped to pick up that.
That's a bummer.
That was just in. I felt bad for maintenance.
Yeah.
But
fair.
It's just like one of those times where a bunch of little things happens and you're not in the mood for it, and so it makes everything worse.
Absolutely.
And like everything was like a minor inconvenience.
But altogether, it's just too much.
Altogether, I was like, of course, this has to happen.
On today of all days.
Yep. I had something similar happen. Not within like the week, but when I was driving home for Christmas, I was like behind like big like industrial truck, and a pebble fell out and it hit my windshield.
Did it crack?
It didn't like crack all the way, but it left a little mark.
Yeah.
And it was like I was very annoyed with it because it was like right out like of the corner of my view. So it's like I saw it the whole way home, and I was like, oh, it's just annoying.
Yeah.
Like if it was on the right side, it would have been fine. Like I don't need to see the right side really.
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you gonna get the windshield replaced?
We got it like fixed. It was like pretty easy to fix. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Because my girlfriend's sister, a similar thing happened to her, and she didn't do anything about the windshield. And then, over the winter, it like splintered and cracked everywhere. So then she didn't have a car for a while.
Yeah.
In the frigid cold.
God. Yeah.
I guess my rainy thing would be I had to get for an interview at 10 this morning, but then also I try to go to the gym.
All of them. Every single one of them.
Sound like an old person. You know, like old people.
On
like,
the Facebooks.
The Facebooks make things plural for some reason. The McDonald's. I go to the gym on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I went today, and it was too cold out. It was -2 degrees.
Ew.
And my eyelashes froze.
Ew.
And that wasn't fun.
God, I don't miss
When your eyelashes freeze, that's how you know it's cold.
Yeah. It's like I could see like the light from the crystals.
Yeah.
That only happened to me once in my time in Illinois, and it was when we had that like polar vortex or whatever wizardry, which I did not appreciate. Yeah. It's awful. Did you like do the whole like bundle up like multiple pants over your shorts, or did you like are you like a pack and change at the gym kind of person?
I wear shorts and then pants.
Fair.
And then I change my shirt at the gym.
Okay, interesting. Fair enough. I think that's the way to do it, is you just wear pants over your like leggings or your shorts or whatever you're wearing to go work out, and then you just like take them off when you're taking your jacket off and like put it all in a locker. I think it's the best way.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, learn about yourself and your friends. Don't be too mean to Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's trying his best. Yeah. He's doing great.
What was he done to you?
Probably nothing. Maybe. Unless he like did something to you, in which case I'm sorry.
Maybe he did. Maybe
I don't want to assume.
Who knows?
Again, I don't know that much about him, but
I just had that exact same reaction. I was like, why are we being mean to Lin-Manuel Miranda? Like, what did he do?
He was on Electric Company, and I think we should all remember that. He was great on Electric Company. Alrighty. Have a sunny Wednesday.
Bye.